Welcome to the StockMentor.com studios. I'm your stock mentor, Brian Johnson. And run up today in the markets to start the new month. All right, so there was where the consolidation decided to take the markets, and that was up. Man, I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad that it did resolve up because I was just not seeing how the formation was going to be anything but bullish. It's just a really, really nice looking uh, formation with the price action and the volume. It just looked like it was more than ready to clear the way for a new move upwards. All right, so here we have it. We have the break above this blue line. Really, what we got was a gap, honestly, up above this 10600 area, and we ran up all day long. So for those of you that were long from last week, paid off for you today. For those of you that might have wanted to get in on a little bit, I don't typically I'm very cautious, I should say, with gaps one way or the other, but this one worked out beautifully where it gapped right up and over this overhead resistance and then running upwards all day long, able to pull some money out of these markets. I love the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 move up. Now, at this point, the 5 move is officially complete. It can end at any time. That can be tomorrow, that can be a week from now, but ultimately, what we're going to be watching for now, I think the next direction would be, well, if it's not up, it must be down. So we'll be very careful in here. Not saying that we don't have some more upwards motion to go, but I would tell you to be cautious from this point forward. Keep your stops in place. On a daily, straight up. Now, overall volume for the day was only okay. Wasn't fantastic, but this price action typically leads to exactly what we just saw, and that was a break to the upside, up and over the 10600 area, all the way to almost 10700. Now, if we continue on this pace, and what that means is I will give the bears a day or two to maybe try to bring this thing back down again, but if we continue on this pace, I think 10900 or close to it is in our sights on a continued move up. NASDAQ, 60-minute, holding this blue line, getting the gap up, running up most of the day, but really stalling once we hit this, that nasty little 1900 area on the overhead. So we'll be looking for a move above that to push any further upwards. Once again, watching the 1915 and or 1918-ish area up here for that overhead resistance. Any push above that, 1940 to 1950, I think, is what I'm seeing for the next level of overhead resistance there. Weekly, it's only Monday, but notice we are, of course, now out of that blue line. We'll see if that decides to go anywhere major by the end of the week. So we've still got some work to do yet. I won't talk about the weeklies quite yet. The SPX on the 60 doing the same thing, saw that gap up and run up. Now, more conservative traders, I said, take a trade over 1125, and that is where we found our overhead resistance area, right around that 1124 to right around 1127, I guess, was the high. So 1124, 1127 area. This thing found a lot of bouncing within that area, just hovering, trying to get above it. Finally did at the end of the day. Wasn't a powerful break. However, it was. Charts are what they are, guys. It was a break to the upside. So we're sitting right up here at the 1125 area, waiting for some more direction on the markets. If you're long, keep your stops tight. I'd have them, I don't know, somewhere just below 1120-ish maybe. Put a 7-8 point stop on it or whatever. Whatever your risk allows you, and see what happens coming into tomorrow. If we continue upwards, I think we've got some room to move here. Looking at this further overhead area, right around the 1140 and then the 1150-ish area to the upside. Notice how we did get back to this overhead line of resistance. So another curious place for the markets to park themselves in the near term. Notice how the last time we got up to this line, we held, and then we started that pullback to the downside. Maybe we get that, maybe we don't. We could see a break above that. It's anybody's call at this point. I'm just telling you guys to be very cautious in and around this area. Lots of EW counts. You're going to see a million different EW counts in here now. You know, we could have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This could be a major 3 up. Maybe this stops here. Maybe this is some sort of another, XYZ type of a correction. The corrective waves are so nasty to count, so it's really hard to know. Very difficult after one day to know exactly where we're at. Just keep in mind that we're watching here at Stockmentor the overhead levels and the lower support levels for our entries. From a weekly standpoint, you can see it's Monday, but we are just now above the 20-week moving average. That could lend a very interesting perspective to the markets pushing forward. And the VIX falling as well, a big fall, 6% down today, certainly confirming what we were seeing in the markets with that move to the upside. From a weekly perspective, you can see us dipping down here. There's a lot of clear area down in this area, so down to 20 or even below could be in the cards. That would mean more upwards action in the markets themselves. Apple on a 60-minute did see a nice climb today, albeit a lot of it was on this gap right to here. Ran up for about the first 1 hour of the day and then just piddled along the rest of the time. So this action, though, in the bigger picture is still bullish for all of you Apple heads out there. What I should call you like Apple cores or something, have some sort of a... Because there's always those core people that love Apple, and that's all they want to deal with. So anyway, 1, 2, 3, maybe... working on a sideways 4 here before a 5 up. In that case, I'd be looking for breaks up and over to this 264-ish area and or 266 for your trades. From a daily, you can see where we're stuck right below this area here. And I think this area is right around the 262-ish area too. So that would be another trading opportunity up and over 260, 250 maybe, somewhere up in that area. But you can see us just chopping sideways on Apple. Very, very indecisive right now, where the bigger picture is going to lead us holding above the 20-week moving average as we've been watching for quite a while. Here we have the push to the upside in FAS. Look at that. Nice gap up followed by nothing but upwards movement all day. Made for some, was actually pretty good day trading in FAS and FAZ if that's the way you're playing them. This looks like a pretty clean 1, 2, 3, 4, now a 5 to the upside at this point. So we could see... if we can get a push just above this area here, it's around 24.30 for the more aggressive, maybe 24.50 for the more conservative. Looking for that push back up and over these areas. This could now start something more along the lines of a swing trade. You might be able to get in and hold for a day or two if we can get a good push and a close up above this area in here. Looking for a retest of the 200-day moving average. If not, potentially higher. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking at this thing as an inverse head and shoulders. Sure, why not? This throws a little caveat into the whole mix here, but you know what? Very possible that this could see a big move to the upside. High end on this might be up here around 30.31. A little early to be talking about that, but I would say that a break above this area would probably first put me here about 25.50 and then 26.25 and then upwards from there. FAZ on a 60-minute saw the big gap down and run down all day. Below $13 was my more conservative trade to the downside. That did give you profits today. If you're holding into tomorrow, a little bit speculative on your part, but could be okay. Just keep your stops in place. I certainly wouldn't want to be short this if it got back up and above about, 1350-ish or so. From a daily standpoint as well, you see the move to the downside, looking at this 12... I don't know where this is at, 1270-ish or so. Let me see where this little line's at here. That little line puts us right around 1270. Look at that. Good guesstimate there, Johnson. And so I would see that as the next level of support. Then below that, all the way down here into the $12 area. Okay, guys, that'll do it for today. But this nice push up. Nice. I really like the way this thing resolved. I think this makes for a beautiful EW pattern for any of you that are EW fans. This is just, I don't know how to count it, but I don't really care. Whatever. 1, 2, then a 3 up here. This made for a 4, and now we're into the 5. If that's the case, after a 5 up means we start a new move downwards. How far? Anybody's guess. How long? Anybody's guess. We're just going to be here to help you through it and walk you through it and continue to make some profits in here, just like we did today. We've been doing very well over the last few weeks with our calls and with the profits we've been making. And so I want to invite you to retweet me if you have a Twitter account. Retweet me, or send my link to some of your buddies for those other people that might not have visited the site before. And or if you guys are interested in a more deeper discussion of the markets, try my newsletter out. Definitely worth the $15 a month. You can quit at any time. You're not obligated to stick with it for a year or anything like that. Definitely worth your money, and a lot more lines drawn in, a lot more analysis by me, and that is coming next, the subscribers video. Right, talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.